Woohoo! Okay, welcome to Farm Talk Friday's 100th episode. I'm Ken Jordan. This is my beautiful wife, Jivana.
Hi, everyone.
We are in celebratory attire for our 100th episode, and we've brought some special friends on.
This is Scratch. He's our beloved kitty.
And, yeah, go ahead.
He's gonna go now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And right here we have Crema. She's one of our prize chickens.
She's the one that was having some problems when we took her to the vet, and he electrocuted her, and she jumps again. That's great. Isn't that right, Crema? Yeah.
All right, Pablo.
Or Pippa.
Okay, so to anyone who's new to the show, we moved to Costa Rica about 7 years ago from Los Angeles.
You can stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have settled in here to the jungle. We are living on a sort of an intentional community called Rancho Delicioso. And we are practicing permaculture and sustainability. We've got solar power. We drive electric cars. And we try to let everyone know what's going on with us every week, Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific time. And this is our 100th show. We're so glad you are watching.
Yes.
Now,
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. We picked these today.
He said, "Hey Ken, what are you doing before the show?" And he said, "Well, we're gonna pick some flowers." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's very cute. We're gonna make a bouquet."
Yeah.
He got his skills from his mom.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that over there.
Okay. Now, one of the things we do a lot is show what we're growing. So under this stuff, we've got a bowl. We've got some carambola dulces. These are actually Pippas, but we grow them too. These are like the greatest tasting fruits ever. They're star fruit, but they're the sweet kind. They're not as sour and tart as the normal ones.
And we've shown them on the show before, but if you cut them this way, then you get the star.
Yeah.
Yay! Yay.
So we also have coconut. So we had serious like coconut palm tragedy recently here on the farm. There was the palm beetle that was infecting all the coconut palms.
It's a weevil.
What did I say, beetle?
Yeah.
Palm weevil. And we were really worried. It killed one of our coconut palms.
It killed two.
Two of them. And and it killed a bunch of others in this area, but just two of ours. But we recently had some growing, and this is the first two we pull. It's a little early, but this is going to be delicious, sweet coconut water inside these.
Or more like coconut jello sometimes when they're super, super green.
So we're super excited about that. That means our coconut palms are coming back. Also,
Ken wanted this to be festive.
Yeah.
Like for celebratory 100. So
That's right.
I'm all dressed up. We got little toys.
so we've got two green things here. This is a lime. These are like the typical Costa Rican limes here. They're actually really delicious, really juicy. They got a lot of seeds, but they're fantastic. And this green thing is actually an orange. The oranges here never really get orange. They're good for juicing. They've got a lot of seeds and not much else.
And so for this thing, Joaquin, who is part of our community and a biologist from UCR, University of Costa Rica, he said that everywhere else in the world they use these as a root stock. And Costa Rica is the only place in the world, according to him and what he was taught, where we're actually using the fruit. So normally they're taking this particular citrus tree and they cut it down and then they graft like some other citrus to it because it has such a strong root system. There we go. Yeah, it was very cool.
here's a couple of bananas. Now these are actually our prize bananas. These are blue Javas, but you know, we picked them early on the vine just for the show today. These will turn blue, and then when they get ripe, they'll turn yellow again. But right now they're green. But we can use these. We'll make them into some like potato thing.
Sure.
Because they're so green.
We'll certainly try.
And then these are peanut butter fruit, which are really amazing. They need to be a little deeper red to be ripe, but they're mostly seed, but you bite into them and you get this incredible peanut butter flavor.
Yes. And they're mushy, and there's actually not like a lot of flesh to them. So what you do is you kind of like suck off the slimy peanut butter when it's red, and then you have a big seed and you throw it to make more trees.
So we talk a lot about permaculture principles on the show. We've gone through all 12 of them. Maybe we'll run through the 12 again sometime, but we talk a lot about growing mostly perennials here instead of annuals. Perennials grow all the time. You don't have to replant. And all of these are perennials, obviously. The star fruit, the banana, well,
Yeah.
bananas,
Yeah, they regrow.
the
And
coconuts. But a lot of people think, well, how do you get your greens, right? Mm-hmm. And so you have to find perennials that will, you know, that will provide you with your greens. And one of the stars for us in this area is katuk. This is katuk, and it's a leafy green. It's kind of got a nutty flavor.
Mm-hmm. And you can eat it raw, which is nice because some of the other perennial greens you have to cook for like 20 minutes.
And to get them, you just go like that.
Well, that's what Ken does.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Great. Anyway, okay. So we talk a lot about what we're growing, but we hi Crema. We had Scratch, our cat, on, and we had one of our chickens, but
Scratch, by the way, is in a corner looking at the corner.
yeah. Some of the things you'll never see on the show are all the wildlife we have around here, and there's tremendous amount.
You will never see this.
We have howlers on all sides of us, basically. Well,
What's a howler?
The howler monkeys on 3 out of the 4 sides. We have agoutis, which are just the cutest little big butt rodent things you'll ever see. We have pizotes, the most beautiful squirrels in the world. We even have deer on this.
What makes our squirrels
property.
beautiful?
Well, they're like this dark chestnut red color with like a black stripe, and they're just really funny and cute.
Yeah.
They're not just unique to Costa Rica. They're unique to this part of the peninsula, of the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica. And
that's what Jeremy says from Wild Sun.
well, we've been in other parts of Costa Rica, and we don't see the
is true.
super beautiful ones anywhere
Confirmed.
else. Confirmed by
Confirmed.
Geoff.
No.
Oh yeah, confirmed by somebody.
By one of our secret guests. We have.
We also have seen armadillos, and then we have tons of birds. We have parrots and motmots and all kinds of amazing birds. Not to mention all the geckos, iguanas, and millions of ants.
That's right. So many ants. We love them all.
Okay, so what I'd like to do now is bring in our first special guest.
The people that are live here in the room?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Let's have somebody.
Pippa, are you ready? Come sit
Come
right
on
here.
up.
This is our next door neighbor.
Okay, I'm gonna buzz right in here.
So this is Pippa. We've had her on before, and actually kind of recently.
Yeah.
She was a cameo. Now she's featured. And Pippa and I actually, we just did a video for, it was meant to go to Electronic Music Alliance, and it was featuring her nonprofit Futuro Nativo. And we did it on like Permaculture Day. It was so awesome. And then I realized that I hadn't used like the iMovie app in such a long time that it's maybe outdated, and I still haven't edited that. But do you want to very, very quickly just talk about the music? Like you ended up naming the campaign something else, I think,
Yeah.
since then. And then, okay, give us a quick update.
Okay, so Future for Music, which is what we talked about on that particular day, is a part of the organization Futuro Nativo, which is a nonprofit I founded almost 2 years ago now. And so this part of the organization focuses on recordings from indigenous communities, in particular their prayers. And so when they sing in prayers. And taking those recordings and sending them to our magical and wonderful music producer friends, of which EMA was featured, and having them produce something that turns it into a track that can be played on our dance floors and in our clubs. So what's going to happen is that we're all going to be listening to these incredible and deep prayers for the earth whilst we're on the dance floor. So Future for Music by Futuro Nativo.
Yes. Thank you, Pippa.
You're welcome.
We're so excited to have her right next door.
Yeah.
So, yay.
And
So she is
thank
part
you
of
for
Rancho
this-
Delicioso.
Thank you for the star fruit. You can have them back now.
Okay, so now, Ken, this is not so, you're not very party. Like, Ken told me to dress up,
Oh yeah.
and then he has nothing on.
Okay, here we go.
Where's your stuff? There's that. This represents our cat, Frody. These are some of the things we have at Frody Fest, by the way.
That's a whole nother
Also,
topic.
this was part of our, if you haven't watched our 100th episode promo video, that's a must.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. It's not too late.
Okay, honey, what else
Okay.
do we have?
We have our next special guest, Geoff, the visionary of our community of Rancho Delicioso.
Okay, we have the founder of Rancho Delicioso.
And also Divvy and Lightning Works.
That's right.
Geoff,
Have a
I'll
seat.
take off my my seat pillows that I sit on.
So, do I get to wear this tutu? For
Yeah,
Of
see if you want. So, Geoff, how long ago did you have the idea for an intentional community?
Well, I actually grew up with this in mind because my great grandfather was a founding member of one of the first ever in the late 1890s. So I was raised on stories of this kind of thing, and my family is still part of two sort of intentional communities that are vacation places in California, and I grew up going to them since I was a little kid. So it's kind of always been in my sphere of my experience. And so when I came down here, I immediately started thinking about, it's just like my great grandfather moved from Europe to Mexico and started one of these things. I started thinking about it right away. And I saw others when I came here, and I think it was 2004. And so it was just really a matter of finding a piece of land. And we found this one. Actually, I passed it by many times. It was pretty inexpensive in the beginning, but it was in the middle of nowhere at that time. Nobody lived in this part of the peninsula, and it was really bad soil.
Yeah.
There was no cows on it. Like, it was so bad that cows couldn't even live on it. They only had goats.
I have photos. I have like these amazing before photos of the first time you showed me the land. I mean, there was absolutely nothing here except that one guayaba tree. That's it.
Yeah, and so but I read this amazing book about people who got some land in Colombia, and it was just completely unlivable. Nothing would even grow there, and they turned it into this incredible jungle it's like 1,000 square miles or something. It's gigantic now. It's very famous. It's called. You should actually read the book. It's called Las. It means the gulls. Whatever the word is for like seagulls in Spanish. Las galletas? No, that's cookies. How do you say seagull? Las gavetas? No, that's like doors. It's something like that. But it's an incredible book, and it was very inspiring. And so when I found out about this piece of land and I saw how bad it was, I thought, it'd be really fun to sort of heal this piece of land, nurse it back into health. And you read about in permaculture when you're starting, you learn about all these techniques. So it's more fun to take a piece of land that's really terrible and fix it. It's kind of like when you're washing a car. It's more fun to wash it if it's super dirty, right? So the change is really good. So I was very inspired to do that and try to learn about soil. I didn't know anything about soil. We spent like a year and a half trying to grow plants in pure clay before somebody on a tour was like, this is not dirt. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, we thought it was dirt. We had bought it from somebody who told us it was dirt. We had bought like truckloads, right? And they said, this is not dirt. It looks like dirt.
Oh,
It
you
smells
bought
like dirt.
clay?
Yeah, we ordered like
Oh.
they ripped us off when we got two giant dump trucks full of what looked like dirt. It was like black. It turned out to be like black, dark brown clay.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
so, and these things we put them in bags and they turned into like bricks. Like you could just, it was incredible. And of course, nothing would grow in it. We didn't know what we were doing wrong. And then somebody said, if you squeeze the dirt in your hand and it like doesn't crumble back apart, then it's dirt. If it comes together like a piece of clay and sticks together really hard, like a piece of clay, well, it's clay.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's that was kind of the genesis, trying to figure this out. We didn't know what we were doing. I had been forced to garden as a kid, pulling weeds and planting stuff. Both my mom and my dad had vegetable gardens growing up in Seattle and California, and I really, of course, didn't enjoy that. I had no natural affinity for it. It was a chore, right? But moving here, I really wanted to grow my own food. I thought that would be great, and so it just one step after the other, really.
So, and for more information about Rancho Delicioso, you can go to ranchodelicioso.com.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know which dot it was.
Yeah, .com. We have a lot of information there. Most of it's pretty outdated. We used to have 120 edible plants. They were growing here. I don't know, how many do you have on your land here now?
Different plants?
We had 113 originally,
Yeah.
and then I don't know.
We added some and lost some.
So if you haven't actually noticed it, you should go look at the site, because I have all of them in a list, and there's photos of them, what they are, and so
Yeah.
and all of them somehow I found in the area, and some I bought seeds. You have to smuggle them in your underwear when you come in, because you're not allowed to bring in seeds.
Well,
right?
I just put them in envelopes to make them look like a letter. I mean,
Yeah.
no, I've never brought in seeds. I don't know what I just said there.
They almost never survive. That's the thing. But you got to try. That's what everybody does here.
All right. Listen, Geoff, thank you so much for everything. We're going to bring Jivana back on.
Okay.
And come on over, honey. She's really upset with me now.
In this age where everything is tracked and we're gonna have these stupid digital twins that profile us, I think
Honey, you look great.
I think we should,
You look amazing. Look at you.
smile.
All right, let's
Smile when people say things that are
Okay.
incriminating.
So, are we going to roll it up?
Well, we're gonna invite Pablo
Okay.
on real quick. So maybe
Pablo,
you can
Pablo.
text some people while Pablo's on.
No, they're
Pablo!
never going to get on.
Esta dirección.
I moved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Sentido, Pablo.
so now we have Pablo. Pablo is new to the Green Wave House. Más cerca yo. Yeah. Perfecto. So Pablo is helping us. We normally have somebody else that's been working for us for a little over a year, and he went on vacation. So Pablo's, it's like his 2 días or 3 días hoy. Es
Cuatro.
Cuatro.
Hoy viernes, 4 días.
4 days so far. He keeps returning, which is nice, because at the end of every day he says, "Si Dios quiere," which means if God wants, I'll be back. Which is true. I mean, it's not really up to us, right? But it's also a little disconcerting when you have somebody new, because you're like, gosh, I hope that they mean it the way that it's meant to be meant. And but he keeps showing up. So here he is, and he's been really helpful so far. So we appreciate you. Muchas gracias, Pablo. Yeah, he's been really wonderful so far.
Gracias,
Okay.
Pablo.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this show, Farm Talk Friday, is either on this page, the Green Wave House, or it's on Jivana's page.
Yeah.
And that one is easy to find, or it's on my page, Ken Jordan. And so we're so glad you tuned in. Hope to see you
I'm
on
not done.
future shows. But Jivana's not done. So what else you got, honey?
Well, I had some things to talk about.
Oh, good. Let's hear them.
Well, I thought, for a 100th episode, we should talk about, the show and tell is nice, but it's like, what have we learned in the last few years, aside from just growing things, it can be dangerous farming.
That's not what I learned.
Ken's not out in the field as much as I am, so Ken got me this little...
She gets multiple injuries every day.
Yeah, Ken got me this little chainsaw, and I was out there. We have these plants called chica skill, and so there's we could say two types of kind of alternative spinach that we grow here, chaya and chica skill. And chica skill is more like the tree, and it's a lot heavier than the chaya is. So the chaya, it can get thick, but it's hollow inside. So you can even on a big long tube of it, you can break it off. Oh, that fell on your head, no problem. But I had to chainsaw off a chica skill branch, and it fell on my head. And I thought for a second I had, a potential for a concussion. It was I was like, wow, glad Ken didn't see that. I think that you have to be okay with spiders. Spiders get on you, they bite you.
Ants. You have to be okay with ants.
Yeah, but it's I had this spider bite that I forgot to show everyone that was here. But look, it went away. How cool is that? That's what happens. But I got a cat bite. Can anyone see this? No, even that's gone away. But the spider bite was actually quite interesting. I'm like, oh, okay. But those get on you quite often. There's some things that happen, but I think it makes you a more resilient person. Just like Burning Man.
So one of the things I learned was is
no laughs on that one.
Yeah.
Anyone? Come on. Ah!
is don't
Studio applause, please.
with permaculture you can't force it. You got to take what the defense gives you. Case in point, I wanted avocados so bad, and they're just not growing here. They're never going to grow here. I planted every single kind of avocado tree there is. It's just not happening. And so eventually I was like, you know what? Other things grow great here. We're just going to plant more of those because the avocados are not happening.
Meanwhile, we do have 3 avocado trees that are actually okay so far, but I don't like to update Ken about that because he's just so devastated when they don't work out. Yeah. So anyway, but I still have hope. There is hope.
There is hope.
Yeah. Anyway, we were hoping to bring on our family, and the whole technology thing can be hard for we're not in our 20s, and neither are our parents. So we did the best that we could. We did some test runs, and maybe some other time we will bring them on. Maybe for 125 or 150, the families will figure it out.
But
you'll see them.
The flowers were for the moms.
Yeah.
So Linda and my mom Joanne, these are for you guys. So. All right.
Ladies.
Great. Anything else, Marla?
Yeah. Okay. So I have Frody Fest stuff. This one's pretty great. That one's good. Black cat.
Just showing random postcards.
Yeah. This is our yin yang garden. But then we get to this Frody Fest stuff, which our friend Simon works with this organization, Las Pumas, and then his
I'm trying to reconnect.
Okay. Anyways, I had it. I wanted to give Simon a shout out, and Las Pumas, another great organization that's here. And then the final thing before we sign off, I want to plug Green Wave, because none of this would be happening if there was no Green Wave, because we call our house Green Wave House. And if you are in the area, there is another talk being given by the Karen Mogensen Reserve, which is an organization that Green Wave has been helping the last few years. They're going to be talking at the Tea Room at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Hope to see you there. Pippa's going to join me for that. Hopefully you will come as well. And then Wild Sun, I think that there was probably something there. I know they put up a post lately just saying something about their boxes for the Scarlet Macaw project are made out of recycled plastic, and how these are more, you know, they're not going to break down, right? Because it's plastic. So they're thinking that it's like a better option. So you can check out that, see what you think. But it's a very, very cool project that we're doing, and it's been really rewarding to see the Scarlet Macaws flying over the area again. And then finally, we've been working lately on this club. It's kind of like a youth leadership slash mentorship program, and the two high school students that are part of it right now, Jeremy and Mason, I asked them what they wanted to call their club, and they said the Permaculture Party Club, and we're all partied out, so I think this is gonna work, Permaculture Party. And we had a volunteer day, a Permaculture Volunteer Day this past Wednesday, and there was a few people that showed up, and that was
Super
really great.
successful. It was wonderful.
Yeah. So, and it was nice to hear, like, hey, thank you so much for offering this. Like, we've been looking for an opportunity like this for a while. And I said, yeah, you know, because they're like, are you going to have this all the time? I'm like, well, you know, like as often as possible. But I'm like, I think it's a nice option for people that don't want to, or don't have the, you know, they don't want to do like 1 month or 3 months, and I don't want to deal with that either. And I know Geoff had to deal, they were running like a volunteer program, and then at some point they're like, okay, maybe this isn't exactly what we want to do. And so I'm just going to do these every once in a while. We have a few more days coming up. So if you go to greenwave.eco, you can find out more about the organizations and projects that we work with, and the volunteer days that are coming up.
All right.
Yay.
Sounds great.
Happy
Okay.
Friday.
Have a great weekend. See you next week on Farm Talk Friday. For my wife, the beautiful Jivana, I'm Ken Jordan. See you soon.